Hey everybody, how's it going? Going to walk us through our April dividend income update. So total portfolio value at the moment is around 300,000, of which about 190,000 is in non-401k. So that's like my individual brokerage account, individual retirement account. 12-month income looking forward is about $9,000 for next year, 2020, or I guess next 12 months forward income. Just base this off of what the annual dividend payout is per stock that I have, or per share that I have in each of the companies that I have. So I expect that 2020 payments will be a little bit higher than this. Then 2019 payments will be a little lower this because we are partially through 2019 already. Looking at sector weight percentage and sector income of the portfolio. Obviously, energy stocks are still remaining king in the portfolio with about 29% weight, about 35% income, respectively there. Real estate's getting a little bit bigger of a bump. Maybe I'll talk about that in a little bit of a later video. But it's about 16, 17% of the actual weight of the portfolio, almost 20% in terms of income. The telecom communications, that's like my Verizons and my AT&T. Those are just about under 8% and just about 9% in terms of total income. And financials are looking pretty good here, about 15% of the total weight and just as much almost in the income. Cash, you can see, has gone down pretty drastically. It's less than 5% of the portfolio at the moment. Still makes up about 2% of the income. If you guys remember last month or 2 months ago, it was getting up around 10 to 15% of the portfolio, if I remember. I think at one point I had about $35,000 in actual cash itself, which was a little bit more than I'm used to. But I made some recent investments in real estate and also some energy investments as well because I saw the prices were dipping pretty good. So in another video, maybe I'll talk about those. But actually going to what companies paid me, let's go to the dividends received. I'm trying out this new table here, so let me know what you guys think. My only complaint at the moment is that it looks a little bit long, and you're not able to see everything in the window. But anyway, we'll focus on column H here, which is April. So in my individual brokerage account, we have some regular cash investment. We have my Bank of Nova Scotia that paid me about $65. We have my Icon Enterprises. We have the 3 or so monthly dividend payers, like my Main Street Capital, my Realty Income Corp, which dipped a little bit because I sold that a couple months ago. We have my Stag Industrial, and then we have Starwood Property Trust. Also, Altria Group paid me. I have that in multiple accounts. So if you actually end up going down to my Roth IRA, or sorry, not my Roth IRA, but my computer shares account, I have some more Altria Group here for another $20. Philip Morris for another $20-some in my computer shares account. Going to my Roth IRA, you have my Cyrus One investment, which is good for about $34 every quarter, and my Philip Morris, which I made pretty substantial investment in that when it dipped into the 70s. So I thought that was relatively low. So I purchased a decent amount of shares. I don't remember how many exactly, but it's a pretty big chunk if you're getting $72 every quarter. But this is everything in my Roth IRA automatically reinvests. And if you guys remember, everything in my brokerage account, because I'm making about $5,000 a year in dividends, I pool those just because in my individual brokerage account, I'm adding about $1,000 to $1,500 every month. Actually, I just increased it automatic investment on the 15th of every month to about $1,500. So keeping that in play. It's been working out pretty well because obviously if you don't think for a month or two, you'll get about $1,000, and you obviously have the automatic investment of $1,000 to $1,500. So pretty quickly you start having $2,000 to $3,000 in cash ready to deploy into any opportunity that arises. Started tracking my Fundrise account about last month or so, and I made another investment in real estate, which we can talk about. Haven't seen any payments from that yet because that was, I think, in the beginning of April, maybe early May. So haven't seen any payments back from that yet, and we will see when that does start making payments. And then I had a pretty big chunk of change, if you guys remember, in my Amex savings account. So I was close to $27,000 or so, and I had the rest scattered through my individual brokerage account and my IRA. That gets me close to about $500, just under $500, $488.84, which is pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that. And then actually rolling over to my YouTube money that I made, so it's about $86, so it's not a lot, but I've been slacking on the videos, so I apologize for that. But still good enough to continue to get the paycheck every other month or so, which is awesome. Looking strictly at the dividends that I made for the month, it's a 64% increase over last year. So April of last year I made about $300. This year it's about $490, and if you were to include YouTube income, it'd be a little bit more than the 64% here. But looking pretty good. And for those of you that do remember what my goal was for the year, so my goal for 2019 was to make about $8,500, and I know you guys can't really see these numbers, so I'll zoom in here for you a little bit. But my goal for the year was about $8,500. Actually, this is probably the best one to look at. $8,500. So this black line here, which you can barely see, but I had a box, kind of like I have on this 2020 for $12,000. About $8,500 was my goal to get this green box filled up to this $8,500 mark, and I'm very close. So I am actually at about $8,475, which is pretty good, and that means I'm only 1% away from my goal, because obviously it's about $8,475 or what have you. That's good enough for about $700 a month. So that was kind of the goal that I was looking for, was about $700 a month by the end of 2019. So it's only May. I have some more money that obviously I could invest throughout the year to get this maybe closer to 9,000, but I don't expect to break 9,000 this year, because it's a pretty big jump, and the year's almost half over at this point. So it would require a pretty big chunk of change to get an additional $500 for the year. So pretty impressive. So compared to last year, it's about an extra $235 a month, which is pretty wild. So last year, in 2018, I made about $471 a month in dividend income. This year it's looking about $706. And if you remember, the 12-month forward income for or that I showed you at the very beginning of the video, it's around $9,100 currently forecasted for 2020, and that's without any dividend raises or cuts, if that happens as well. And that's also without any further investment. So I don't take into account the additional $1,500 or what have you invested every month. This is strictly what's invested in the account today. Dividend or a stock could cut its dividend tomorrow, or vice versa. It could raise its dividend tomorrow, and this number would change. But looking pretty good, pretty excited about the progress so far. Next year, just based off of if my average YouTube income stays about the same compared to what it is in 2019 forecast, and we have the $9,100 come through, looking to make about $10,000. So based off of that, I need to increase my income, dividend income, from about the $9,100 to the $12,000. So it's about $3,500 or so. Actually, it's less than that. I don't know where I got that number from. Oh, I see what happened here. So it's about $3,000 that I need to raise it. So it's about 33% that I need to raise it. This calculation here is wrong. So that's a pretty big jump, but over the past couple years, I've been able to raise it 70%, 63% last year. This year, I'm currently at about 50%, looking forward for the year. So maybe I can get this into the 60% range. That would be wild. But if I can continue that 40 to 50% range for the next couple of years, that would be absolutely phenomenal. I love looking at this chart. I showed this to my friend the other day, but of course I crossed out the numbers. But back in 2013, I made 85 cents, and it's really just skyrocketed every year thereafter, which is awesome. It's not mind-boggling money or anything like that, but it's relatively cool. Soon enough, I should be forecasting what my 2021 numbers are, and that's when it starts getting pretty wild. Because once you get into the 5 digits, if you're able to increase by 20-30%, you're looking at an additional $200-$300 every month that you're able to increase your income by, and that's when you start being able to pay off some serious bills, whether it's the phone bill, whether it's the mortgage or rent in my case. That's when you're able to start really having a lot of fun with it. And if you're able to do that for 2, 3, 4 years, then you're getting into a couple $1,000s every month, and that's when you start really making the big time money and really stop having to rely so much on a regular 9-to-5 job, and maybe you can focus on something that's more passionate in your life. So that's the goal. Really excited so far. Really good progress. That's pretty much it for this month's update. Let me know if you guys like these graphics or not. Let me zoom out here and show you this graph. I like this graph a lot. Because I always view things generally on a yearly basis, but sometimes you have to view it on a monthly basis. I thought this was pretty cool. 7 cents back in 2013, $20.98, $168 in 2016, and just in 3 years, basically almost able to I don't know what that number is. I'm not very good with math. What is that? Quadruple it? I don't really know, but pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited about it. Hoping to get this in 2020 number up to about $1,000 a month, but we'll see. It's a pretty ambitious goal, but can't believe I already met my goal here almost for 2019 in May. So if you just keep investing and you end up getting with a little bit of luck and opportunity, then anything can happen. So, all right, guys, appreciate you guys listening to me rambling on a little bit at the tail end there. But if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and leave any comments down below if you want to see any other additional videos. Thanks for stopping by.